Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thought. I speak truth unapologetically.
The orange tyrant was a Democrat when he partied with Epstein. Let that sink in, oh honey. Grab your sweet tea and pull up a chair, because today we're slicing through the thickest layer of Republican amnesia known to man. Yes, you heard me right. The same orange tyrant that your MAGA uncle swears is the second coming of conservative purity was a card-carrying Democrat for 8 straight years while he was flying around, grinning in photos, and rubbing elbows with none other than Jeffrey Epstein. I said what I said. Let's run the receipts real quick, because facts don't care about your red hat feelings. Late 80s, registered Republican. Cool, 1999, jumps ship to the Reform Party because he was already auditioning for the clown show. 2001 to 2009, officially a Democrat. Blue team, baby. Registered, voting, the whole nine. 2009 onward, flips back to Republican the second he smells a grift he can actually win. Now let's overlay the Epstein timeline, because timing is everything. The orange tyrant and Jeffrey were besties through the 90s and deep into the 2000s. Private planes, Palm Beach parties, all of it. Epstein's first big investigation kicks off in 2005, plea deal in 2008, right smack in the middle of the orange tyrant's Democrat era. So while he was registered Democrat, he was also on camera hugging Epstein, calling him a terrific guy who liked them on the younger side. Let that marinate. But suddenly, the second Epstein becomes radioactive. The orange tyrant wants to pretend he barely knew the man and definitely never inhaled the Democratic air for almost a decade. Please, this isn't ancient history. This is 2001 through 2009. That's yesterday in political years. That's the same stretch when he was donating to Hillary Clinton, to Chuck Schumer, to every Democrat who would cash his check. And now his cult screams lock her up, while their dear leader was literally writing the checks and swapping phone numbers with a child trafficker, all while wearing the exact same party label they claim is pure evil. The hypocrisy is so thick you need a chainsaw to cut through it. So next time some red-cap genius tries to tell you the orange tyrant has always been a righteous Republican warrior, you just smile real sweet and ask them, then why was he a Democrat for the entire time he was besties with Epstein? Watch their brain short-circuit in real time. That's the tea, darling. Scalding hot and served with zero apologies, the orange tyrant, Democrat hoax. Honey, he was the Democrat. Listen up, darlings, because if hypocrisy had a face, it would be painted orange and topped with a comb-over that defies gravity and good taste. The orange tyrant is out there again, flapping his gums about Democrat hoaxes like he's some innocent bystander in the circus he built himself. Oh please, spare me the fake outrage. This man treats history like it's a choose-your-own-adventure book, where he gets to rip out the pages that don't suit his narrative. But let's drag those pages back into the light, shall we? Because the truth is screaming louder than his rallies ever could. Remember how he loves to screech that everything bad is a Democrat hoax? The investigations, the scandals, the endless parade of his own messes. Well, buckle up, because here's the punchline he hopes you forget. He was a Democrat during the peak of his shady glory days. Yes, you heard that right. From 2001 to 2009, this so-called Republican messiah was registered blue, donating to Democrats, schmoozing with the elite crowd he now calls the enemy. And that's exactly when he was deep in those social circles, bragging about knowing everyone, including the ones who'd make your skin crawl. Epstein? Oh, absolutely. Photos, parties, the whole sleazy montage happened while he was proudly Democrat. But now it's all a hoax orchestrated by the very party he belonged to. It's like he's yelling at his own reflection and expecting it to apologize. Let's break down his patented orange tyrant logic, step by ridiculous step. Step 1, do something questionable. Fly on private jets, attend the events, make the calls. Step 2, deny it ever happened. I barely knew the guy, sure, and I barely know my own name. Step 3, blame Democrats. Because nothing says strong leader like pointing fingers at your former self. Step 4, pray nobody pulls up the receipts, but guess what? We have them. Party switches documented, timelines overlapping like a bad Venn diagram of hypocrisy. He flipped parties more times than a pancake at a diner, Republican in the 80s, Reform in 99, Democrat for 8 long years, then back to Republican when the wind changed, and during that Democrat phase. That's when he was building his empire of excess, writing checks to Hillary, to Schumer, to anyone with a D next to their name. Now his followers chant, "Lock her up," while ignoring that their idol was funding her campaigns. The irony is so rich it could buy its own island. But wait, it gets better or worse, depending on how much you value sanity. When the orange tyrant rants about Democrat hoaxes, he's basically admitting he hoaxed himself. He was one of them. Part of the club he now pretends to hate. It's classic deflection. Act like the universe rebooted in 2009 when he slapped that R on and suddenly became the savior. Newsflash. The scandals didn't start because he switched sides. They started because of choices he made choices during his Democrat days. And let's not forget the mental gymnastics required to pull this off. It's an Olympic-level routine. Twist the facts, flip the blame, stick the landing with a straight face. If self-awareness were a superpower, he'd be the villain without one. Zero, nada. Just endless projection onto the party he once called home. Imagine this. The orange tyrant steals his own car, reports it as grand theft by his neighbor, then sues the neighbor for being a Democrat, all while forgetting he voted blue last election. That's the level we're dealing with. It's not just funny, it's pathetic. A grown man playing pretend while the world watches and wonders how anyone buys it, but his base does. They lap it up like it's gospel, red hats bobbing in agreement, blind to the flip-flopping fraud in front of them. Me, I call it like I see it. No sugar, no filter. Just the raw, unvarnished truth hitting like a freight train. So next time he tweets or whatever he does on his knockoff platform about another hoax, just remember, he's shading his Democrat past without even realizing it. The mirror doesn't lie, but he sure tries to smash it. There you have it, folks. The orange tyrant's Democrat hoax routine is nothing but smoke and mirrors from a man who can't face his own history. Stay woke, stay sharp, and don't let the hypocrites fool you. From Democrat darling to MAGA messiah, the orange tyrant's greatest costume change ever, sweethearts. Gather close because I'm about to serve the single most delicious plot twist in American political theater, and it's been hiding in plain sight for 2 decades. Picture this. Palm Beach, early 2000s. The air smells like money, desperation, and too much cologne. Mar-a-Lago is popping. The orange tyrant is peacocking around in his Democrat jersey like it's couture, registered blue from 2001 clear through 2009, donating to Hillary, posing with Chuck Schumer, the whole liberal elite starter pack. And who's floating right beside him at every charity gala, every private club, every who's who party where the champagne is older than the interns? None other than Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that Jeffrey Epstein. They're grinning in photos together. They're name-dropping each other in interviews. The orange tyrant literally brags on tape that Epstein is a terrific guy who likes them on the younger side. All while his voter registration card says Democrat in big bold letters. Fast forward a few years. Suddenly being a Democrat isn't shiny enough for his ego. The applause isn't loud enough. The cameras aren't obsessive enough, so what does our leading man do? He doesn't evolve. He doesn't soul search. He doesn't read a single policy paper. He switches teams like he's changing socks. 2009 hits and boom, Republican. Just like that. One broken wheel pivot, and he's reborn as the anti-establishment warrior who's supposedly never been part of the club. Except he was the club. He built half his Rolodex as a Democrat. He threw the parties as a Democrat. He collected the dirt, made the deals, and smiled for the sleazy photos, all as a Democrat. But the second he smells a bigger, angrier, more worshipful audience on the red side, he rips off the blue jersey, burns it in the Mar-a-Lago fireplace, and starts screaming that the elite are coming for you. The same elite he was king of 5 minutes ago. Now he's on stage yelling about drain the swamp while standing knee-deep in the exact swamp water he used to swim in as a registered Democrat. He didn't drain anything. He just changed into a red swimsuit and pretended the water was new. This isn't a conversion story. This is performance art at the level of Broadway, baby. He looked at the Republican base, starving for a loudmouth who would validate every grudge they ever had, and said, "Hold my Diet Coke, I can be that guy," and they ate it up. They crowned him. They forgot the Democrat decade faster than he forgot his wedding vows. Suddenly, the man who partied with Epstein as a Democrat is telling his rally crowd that Epstein's entire world was a Democrat hoax. Honey, the only hoax is the idea that this man has ever believed in anything except applause. He didn't switch parties because his values changed. He switched because the market research said Republicans tip better when you're selling rage. He became the perfect grifter for a base that desperately wanted a billionaire to pretend he's one of them. A New York liberal who suddenly loves trucks, Bibles, and walls because focus groups said so. Let's be crystal clear. Ideology never entered the chat. Opportunity did, power did, spotlight did. The second he realized he could weaponize resentment instead of just whining about it at Hampton's fundraisers, he was all in. And the kicker. He gets to stand there now, orange as ever, pointing at Democrats like they invented sleaze, while every skeleton in his closet is wearing a 2005 Democrat convention t-shirt. He didn't leave the party. The party left his narrative, so he erased it. That, my loves, is the greatest costume change in political history. From Park Avenue Democrat to MAGA Messiah in one shameless season, and the audience still cheers like they've never seen the old episodes. Oh darling, drop everything and come closer, because the MAGA memory wipe is in full swing again, and I simply cannot let it slide unchallenged. Let's talk about 2001 through 2009, that magical 8-year stretch when the orange tyrant was a registered Democrat, proudly telling CNN in 2004 that the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans. Yes, those exact words from the same mouth that now screams radical socialist Democrats are destroying America. He wasn't just playing dress-up either. He wrote checks to Hillary Clinton twice, to Kamala Harris, to Chuck Schumer, to every blue name that could cash them. He bragged about it. He loved it. He was living his best liberal elite life, while the rest of us were just trying to survive the Bush recession. He insisted Democrats would fix better. Fast forward, and suddenly none of this ever happened. Poof, gone, like a bad spray tan in the rain. Now his cult acts shocked, I tell you, that anyone would question his lifelong conservative purity. Purity? Honey, the man flipped parties more times than he flipped casinos into bankruptcy court. This wasn't a Damascus Road conversion. It was a branding decision made by a failed reality star who realized rage sells better on the red side. He didn't leave the Democrats because his principles changed. He left because the applause was louder, the crowds were angrier, and the grift was easier. So next time some red hat hero tries to rewrite history, just smile and remind them. Their savior spent the entire 2000s telling the world Democrats run the economy better while he mailed them campaign checks. The receipts are eternal. The hypocrisy is legendary. Stay sharp, stay honest, and never let them gaslight you into forgetting what we all watched in real time. I just want to thank you all. Like, share, comment, and follow to stay connected. It also helps me out a lot. I appreciate your time and I love you all. I am Santiago del Carmen Maria, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. I will as well make shorter audio. This way is easier for you all. Thank you for being patient. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago DC Maria is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share, alike 4.0 International, the Queen of Crowning Thoughts, because I say it like it is. Crowning Thoughts True Speaker Copyright 2025 by Santiago DC Maria is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share, alike 4.0 International.
She walks the line on a narrow street, Santiago's heat on her restless feet. Words like fire burn the air they meet. True speaker, she don't bow or retreat. Maria, Maria,